The Last Supper by Tintoretto. So Jacopo Tintoretto, he was nicknamed the Furious because of his dramatic brushstrokes and fast pace. He was an Italian mannerist a mannerist artist of the late Renaissance. He mastered the art of light in his artwork. He was Catholic and he had a deep love for creating religious art. He also made mythological art. He made ceiling paintings, and he was also a portraitist, which, interesting enough, he really enjoyed making portraits of old men. So the Last Supper painting, it was an oil painting. There's quite a few elements here that he used in the painting. To start, he used movement and implied motion. As your eyes scan the crowd, you can see each character is acting out some sort of action or gesture. So you can see Jesus is offering what looks to be either a cup or maybe some bread to the apostle next to him. Other apostles are conversating. A servant washes dishes at the bottom of the painting, and she hands the dishes to the next servant. At least that's what we imply is happening. And then there's a cat actually peeking over the bin as she washes dishes. You can see angels gathered up above the crowd. They're flying, where it looks like they're flying. And then some actually gather around the lamp as well. Another interesting aspect is actually the table itself. It is not symmetrical, and it's positioned diagonally from left to right, which creates a directional line that leads the viewer's eyes from left to right of the painting, and it creates an asymmetrical balance. The use of perspective leads the eyes in several different directions rather than just one focal point. Combined, the elements create a sense of ordered chaos. As mentioned, Tintoretto was a master at using light in his work, which it definitely shows here. The contrast of the dark areas with the light that's emitting from the lamp, and then the halos creates a dramatic aura and ambiance that helps to emphasize the importance of the event. The inclusion of animals and servants creates a personal environment. Artists of this time began to prefer personal style over the established norms. The scene is actually of where Jesus breaks bread with the 12 apostles, which are represented by the glowing halos, except for what we believe is to be Judas, who sits kind of across the table. He does not have a glowing halo. So anyway, this scene is where Jesus is breaking the bread and he's offering the wine, which symbolizes his body that would be broken and the blood that would be poured out as the ultimate sacrifice. As the angels fly above, it shows a moment of unity between the spiritual and human characters. The scene as a whole speaks of life, hope, sacrifice, unity, camaraderie, and love. So when we compare that painting to Leonardo da Vinci's painting, it shows a very dramatic change in art and the concept of art for almost over a century. The Last Supper created by Leonardo was made by the fresco technique. It is a one-point linear perspective, so Jesus is the focal point here, and behind him are three paned windows which symbolize the Holy Trinity. Leonardo was very interested in symmetry and proportion, so compared to Tintoretto's, it appears a bit more static and modeled. So the characters here are posed, or they appear to be posed when compared to Tintoretto's. They were much more spontaneous in their gestures and in their movements. So there's a balance in Leonardo's between the emotion and restraint, where Tintoretto's shows much more emotion and kind of is a bit more dramatic. So this scene is actually where Jesus reveals that someone will betray him. So the apostles are asking, "Is it I, Lord?" And then this painting represents death and betrayal, where Tintoretto's represents life. So the painting itself is 144 by 244 inches, and it's located in the Church of San Giorgio Maggiore. It has actually never left Venice, which I thought was really interesting, because most paintings are kind of moved to different museums and things like that, or sold. And so this one has actually never left Venice, and it is still in the same church that it was originally commissioned for. So I thought that was really cool. And here are my sources. So thank you so much.